Okay, Drake TR4 fans, still working on TR4. Identified bad crystal. Ain't nobody got it nowhere. I can get 100. I can get 1,000 embarrassingly cheap. I can't get one. I put in a request with a smaller company, but I've not gotten anything positive out of them in the past, so not hold my breath. But the next step in this process was to put the arbitrary waveform generator, not in the picture, into the local oscillator cathode, 220 ohm resistor to ground, and with the best that my AWG can do at 42.5 megahertz, which is about 5 volts peak to peak. The S meter is only S5, not even close. That's 24 dB too low from S5 to S9, not even worth plugging the key in. So I got to know if there's a place there that a port can be added to import RF. I got to know the peak to peak voltage there. I cannot use the oscilloscope. That's a good scope, but it won't work. Fantastic scope, junk probe. 18 picofarad probe across that point, across even any of the cathodes in his transmitter doesn't work. The amplitude's way too low because of all the capacitance. So we drop back to old school with a new twist, and that's a microwave diode RF probe in a very low capacitance enclosure with a sinfully long ground clip for UHF, but it'll work on HF. Two microwave diodes, about 0.15 picofarad capacitance each. I doubt the end of that probe is seeing it's. I doubt that it's 2 picofarad. So very good probe and an extremely expensive meter. So longer story short, I'm going to touch the top of that cathode resistor. 6.38 volts, add about 30 millivolts times 2, add about 60 millivolts to that. So 6.4 volts for 2 diode drops, which is extremely low drop. 6.4 is the negative peak. The positive peak should be about the same, so 12.8 volts peak to peak. There isn't a prayer my generator can get close to it. I thought about using a clock generator. They make modules, the metal can deals. Most of them, the old stock, were 5 volts. I think some were 12, but 12 volts supply might not be good enough because I doubt the output is 12 peak to peak. So this is up a crick. About the only options to get an external clock generator or an external source and build a small amplifier. You can also buy amplifiers. It's not rocket science, but it starts getting messy. Starts taking up space. Got to patch in a BNC jack down there, bring it through the bottom of the chassis, yada, yada, yada. It's not pretty. It's to get one band on 10 meters. I ain't real excited about 10. It's okay, but the rig will work on 10 if it has a crystal. So works fine on everything else. So I'm going to align it. I'll go through the alignment on transmit again and make sure it's neutralized on 15 because I can't neutralize it on 10. And call it done and put it on the bench for testing. Then it'll be up for sale. So that's the end of the story. But this goes to show where and why a good diode probe is absolutely required for working on tube circuits, because there's almost no use for an oscilloscope in here except for one point, and that's a cathode follower. Just too much loading. The tube circuits are way too sensitive. Even the final grids don't like it. So there's the end of this story of how to thoroughly test all this and why an external RF generator won't work. So you can try it, but it won't. So KBYP did it.